It's not that the mouse is not working and I don't know what it did.
Well, it's okay. So we're recording. So let's go 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to Fine Lines Unrefined, episode 2. We are so excited to get to this evening, and we so appreciate all of your support from last week. How great was that, ladies?
So exciting.
Right?
Thank you.
Exciting.
So
So
exciting.
Thank
Yay.
you guys. Thank you
Thank
for the
you.
love. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. And we really want to talk tonight about, we had mentioned COVID. So as you see, we're all virtual tonight. We're being very socially responsible. And we wanted to talk about, for us, it was, we realized when we've done our own talking that there's
A grieving process,
grieving process.
right?
Yeah.
Yes. True.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
grieving.
I'll talk a little bit about what I feel as far as grieving, and then I want
Sure.
our ladies here, beautiful ladies, to talk about them. So talking about life as we know it just doesn't exist anymore. So how are we handling that? How is it that we are, back in March when this all started, it's funny, we're reading things and it's like, oh, I learned a new language and I started blogging and I started, and all I'm thinking is, oh my God, all I've done is watch Love Island UK. Then I started watching Love Island Australia, then Love Island US, and on my couch. That was it. I could not get off my couch. But since then, some positives that have come out of it for me. For technology, getting out of my comfort zone, as well as in work, having to push us to our new normal. So we're doing a lot of business this way. We're doing a lot of communication this way. Mary and I, in our family, this is how we got to see our siblings every week. We held weekly Zoom calls, and I was started reading a little bit more, writing a little bit more, exercising. That was a big thing. That's really, really what started to help kind of make me feel a little better, because we're going to segue into a question from one of our viewers later. But that was some of the things that I did. How about you guys for COVID?
So, I think when we sort of talk about the grieving process, really important, there was that period where initially I felt frozen. I couldn't get off a couch. Again, just like Beth, whether it was Love Island UK or some mindless kind of got me through the day, kind of beat myself up all the time because I wasn't learning a language or wasn't exercising, wasn't eating properly. Didn't learn how to do anything that interesting. And just, even the comedy of us 3 over 50s just trying to even get this online was pretty funny. But I'd say, technology, basically life doesn't look the same for any of us. And I think part of it's grieving the life we had and what will it look like. So, there was this period where it was every 2 weeks, the world's going to open up. The world's going to open up. And then I remembered saying to Beth and Karen, I'm like, they're lying to us. This isn't going to, it's never going to, you know what I mean? Just kept going on. And here we are 8 or 9 months later. But again, as Beth said, from the positives that have come of it is learning to communicate virtually, virtual hugs, virtual love to people, connecting in this manner. Also, getting it pushed out of our comfort zone. Just really being pushed out of our comfort zone, having to do things differently. As I've aged, I like to do things the way I like to do them. And that's had to change in a lot of ways. So I feel that's a real blessing. I've had an amazing time with my family, my boys. I've got to spend a ton of time with them. We've been able to bond and get to know each other in a way I wouldn't have had the privilege of had this not happened. Mm-hmm. My work colleagues, my friends, just having to connect with them on birthdays in this manner, trying to, figure out ways to still remain connected and to show how much we care about each other.
Finding the silver lining.
Right,
Finding the silver lining,
exactly.
for sure.
Exactly.
I know when it first all happened, I was terrified. I was terrified that the vulnerable people in my world were going to get sick. It wasn't for me, it was for them. And like you said, Mayor, terrorized, not getting off the couch, having the news on 24 hours a day. It was immobilizing.
Paralyzing.
It was paralyzing, and going shopping, grocery shopping, like feeling like I had to wear a hazmat suit.
The gloves, the-
Oh, and
Sorry,
scrubbing
yeah.
your food down.
Yeah.
I was in the garage, and it was an ordeal, and don't touch me, get away from me. And this is
Yeah.
before we were wearing masks, and what do we do? And I had gloves on, and it was just not fun. I'd lie down on the floor and cry when I got home after I stripped
Yeah.
down everything in the garage.
Yeah.
The silver lining for me was my girl came home, and I got to have her home living with us for almost 3 months, and really getting to know Marco and I as a couple, because they've been gone for so long of our relationship, and having her home was just a blessing. I did not exercise, although I did go for a walk once. I ate a lot of foods that, I don't know, I made a lot of banana bread because that's what people told us to do.
Yeah.
I drank a lot of wine. We stocked up because God
Oh, yeah.
forbid the LCBO closed. What were we going to do?
Yeah.
There was some fun. When I look back now, there was some fun that came out of it. And there was a lot of really great conversations, some social distancing, visit with family, making light of it and trying to have fun with it, and standing from the porch to the driveway. So it was an interesting time. It still is an interesting time, but it's really how we get used to things is incredible, how we adapt. And yes, we grieved, I think, that this was happening, and I still feel like we're living in a movie.
Yep.
But it is happening, and we're finding ways to deal with it. And one of the biggest things that came out of it for us was fine lines. And here we are doing a Zoom video. I feel like we're, watching a TV show again. Like, this is so cool that we can do this. Yeah, it took us a while to figure it out. We don't even know if it's all going to work or how it's going to look, but here we are.
Here we are.
So it's not an easy time for anybody. We've been lucky. I'm lucky. I have people that I live with and love. I have good friends that I can turn to. I know not everybody does. We know not everybody does. And that's why, again, this is what we're about. This is conversation. And this is why when we ask you to kind of check in with us or message us or give us a comment, let us know. Let us know you're listening, that you hear us. Talk to us. Ask us what you need to ask, and we'll give you whatever possible advice we can based on our own experiences, of course.
Yeah.
We're not experts in
That's all
any
we
way,
have.
shape, or form.
Yeah.
We don't pretend to be. This is just how we've gotten through life so far.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, so one of our listeners, which we so appreciate, sent in a question asking, how do you focus on self-care during this time? So that's a really great question. It's so important right now. You have got to stay positive. You've got to find your ways, your happinesses, your joys during this time when there is just me, as far as what I can say, how I've done it, turned off the news. I am not listening to the news as much as I used to. Yes, numbers are high, and yes, but you know what? We all know by this point. We all know, wear a mask and be careful. We know this. So that's what we're doing. I am not outside of my house too much. A lot of the business that I do is done virtually. And as far as, but I'm mostly the one in this house. Everyone else is pretty much doing everything here. We've got one working upstairs and one working downstairs, and I'm here. So, but some of the things is, again, reaching out to people that you want to talk to, having their conversations, gaining the connection. There's that. For me also, again, I started exercising again because I love eating, and that I just realized in my life by this stage, it's not going to stop. I love eating. So yes, I am exercising, trying to keep, it's like finger in the dike so that, thing doesn't come falling on me, but which has been great. We're lucky enough that I do it at home. So that's been awesome. Also started reading some really great books, Marianne Williamson and some authors who I love, Brene Brown, which we're going to talk more about these things that I've reading and learned, and I'm sure you maybe some of them maybe there might be some fans out there as well. Skincare. Just literally sometimes just after a really great shower, you're out, you're just taking the time, putting that on, putting your creams on, just having that music on, just relaxing, and that music, dancing,
Love music.
guys.
That's my form of exercise. I hate working out. I hate it. And if I'm with a trainer, I'll probably throw a barbell at him if he tells me
By
to
the
do
way,
it.
it's not that I love it by any means. It's just I'm doing it.
Yeah, but I won't. So I will dance around my kitchen though. I'll throw on some old school tunes that I used to love, and I'll start dancing, and I'll pretend I'm in an aerobics class and no one's here and it's just me, and that's my fun. That gets me going, and it, you know, until the joints start and I'm like, oh, I pulled something again. But anyway, that's a whole other story. My personal self-care and putting myself first, my every night routine is a nice hot Epsom salt bath with essential oils. I put on some nice spa music. I have a glass of wine. I shut out the world and I just kind of go somewhere quiet and peaceful and heavenly. I do a lot of reading too, but mine is all romance novels, Elin Hildebrand. I'm a Danielle Steele of the old school days. My happy endings were what keep me going. The world is, there's always a happy ending in love stories. So that's what, for me, that's what keeps me happy and content. And of course, talking.
12 years old, by the way. I've known
that's who I am. One day I will write the great romance novel. I will.
You should, for sure.
I will. I will.
Amen. Well, and other than what both Karen and Beth are saying, yeah, whether it's been reading, exercise, which I have never exercised regularly in my life, but as Beth said, to be able to keep up the drinking I've been having to do as well as the eating, that's been very helpful. But I'll say watching Schitt's Creek, watching that whole series, oh my God, that just brought me to such a happy place.
Best show ever, Canadian.
Right? Just
I was late to the party on that, and it was amazing. It was so awesome.
Fantastic.
I fell in love with all of them.
All of
They're
them.
all my best friends. I was
All
so
of them. Yeah. And having lost our mom, Moira is our mom, right? Like I just sort of say, and
oh my God, she's
we all
angel.
She's so her, right? So if I talk about what brought a smile to my face or what kind of got me through, that I would say was also a big thing, other than the other things that we chatted about. And
awesome.
Yeah, that's
so on a sort of COVID ending note for now, it's here and it's not going away anytime soon. We are finding ways to deal with it. We're finding ways to get through it. We're finding ways to connect, to reach out, to connect with each other, to connect with you. Again, please let us know what we can talk about that'll help you. The questions that we got, we're going to try and address them all that we as we go, and we will try and get everybody's questions in. Keep tuning in. We're going to try and get out there and do a few of these a month so we can keep engaging with you guys, because we love it. The support has been
incredible,
unbelievable.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been fantastic. And not sure what our topic is going to be next week. What are we talking about? There's so many things. Menopause we were going to talk about, but it's going to take 1, 2, maybe 3 episodes. And we'll see you soon.
See you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.